Hey, welcome back everybody to the Vault of Cult. Thanks for joining us on this week's episode. I'll be your host, Chris, and I'm with...
Mark, you alright?
I'm alright, are you alright?
I'm pretty alright.
Yeah, I hope the listeners out there are doing alright as well.
I'm sure they will be. So yeah, what are we doing this week?
So this week's episode, Mark, we will be discussing the 80s action classic Die Hard.
Yes, Die Hard. Only a classic. Classic.
Now, we know we're not playing games here with Die Hard.
Yeah.
No, we're going to be discussing an absolute cracker of a movie.
But before we do that, as well, I think it's only right we do our beverage for the show.
Beverage for the show?
Beverage for the show.
Here we go. And what beverage for the show do we have this
this week, courtesy of Sue, Chris's missus, we've got some Martini Asti.
I quite like it.
I quite like it. Fancy.
Yeah.
Gone fancy. Very 80s. Oh, should we have some sparkling wine?
Well, we thought, let's do the Asti because we had the baby sham.
Yeah, exactly.
So, beverage for the show this week, guys, is Martini Asti.
Yeah.
Nice tipple.
And if you've got a beverage for the show, or if you have any kind of suggestions, you can always write into us on our email address. What's our email address? Because I have literally forgotten it right now.
I'm glad you asked, Matt, because our email address to contact us here at the show is the Vault of Cult, all one word, the Vault of Cults at gmail.com.
Yeah. So write in, give us your thoughts,
reviews, opinions, suggestions.
Yeah. My nice criticism. Let's be nice.
Yeah, let's constructive.
If you have, we beg of you, constructive.
Please. Also, again, like we do at this point in the show, just want to say thanks for the support, guys. Really appreciate it. And if you could get it out there and share the show, we'd really appreciate it. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you.
Much appreciated. Right, Matt, so shall we get started on this week's show?
Are you ready to die hard?
I am ready to die hard.
Yeah.
So, Mark, do you want to give us some facts and figures, some box office
basic
numbers?
Fun facts to have fun with. Yeah. It came out in July 1988, between the 15th and the 22nd, because it was sort of like they did limited release and then they do a lot over there.
Yeah, they
used to do that. But yeah, that's it. That's it. July. Came out July 1988. So I didn't exist at the time. You know what I mean? I was 5. Yeah. But yeah, it had a budget of between 25 and 35 million. Between. Now, you noticed the between, did you? Because for love nor money, for hunting and Googling of all kinds, nowhere could I narrow it down more than it was 25 to 35 million. And I don't know why. I feel like they initially said, we want it to cost 25 million, but
I think maybe it has something to do with, I mean, this isn't the first time I've ever come across where Hollywood's exaggerating what they spent on it to make it sound a little bit better.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm guessing it might have cost 25 and they said it cost 35.
Yeah.
Or so vice versa. It is there. It's 10 million difference, but modest budget.
And modest budget, and it made worldwide between 139 and 141 million. So obviously depending on how much it costs.
Yeah, 100%. Also as well, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, that's the Martini Asti beverage for the show.
It's a gassy beverage.
It's very fizzy, yeah. Basically, it's just like sparkling wine, but really nice.
It is sparkling wine, yeah.
So again, it made 4 times. It made it 4 times its money back. So
that's tidy money.
It is,
and I
but
found out.
Numbers.
No, it's not. I mean, it's not enormous. I mean, Warwick for back then. I don't really know. This is where you'll swerve into action with the film fact. Is it?
I mean, again, going off the films that we've reviewed. Again, for an example, Ghostbusters. That was a $40 million budget, and that made like hundreds of millions.
Yeah.
Whereas this just did good business.
Yeah, really, really good. I found that it did around 81 million domestic. Now, I'm not sure of that figure. We're talking cold hard rumour with that figure.
But triple the money, fair enough.
You know what I mean? And then obviously the rest internationally around the world. But yeah, bit of ambiguity there for how much did it cost.
Yeah.
30-ish million.
Yeah.
And made...
I mean, even in that year, you know, it was the 10th highest grossing film, so...
Really not bad.
Not bad, but not
bad.
great
No,
initially.
But we can think about as to whether that might be a genre thing, what people were expecting and stuff like that, you know.
Well, yeah, expectations and what's being delivered. So what about the director, mate?
Yeah, directed by John McTiernan.
What else has he done?
Well, he has done another great action film, it's got to be said, did Predator.
Oh my
Only
word.
Predator
my
getting the
word.
fucking chopper itself.
Oh my, another film that is up there in action 80s.
Mate, I think Die Hard or Predator are one of the things that people go, action film, and they go, one of those two. Really got, maybe Rambo as well. Maybe Rambo.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that.
Do you know what I mean?
It's
a Ping film, is Die Hard, and it's Predator of, action film, like Die Hard.
Yeah.
Like Predator.
Yeah, anything with those three in it, really, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, even though Sly Stallone and Arnie did a lot more action films, and this was his first big break, and he was a big action film.
Yeah. It were adapted from a book, which is what I didn't know.
I did know this, but I'm not familiar with the book at all.
I'm not familiar. Well, I just found out about it yesterday. So the answer to the question, have we read it? No, because I mean, didn't know it were based on that.
It's called Nothing Lasts Forever.
Nothing Lasts Forever. Without context, I can't see why.
It's kind of James Bondy, you know.
It's a very James Bond title. Mind you, I could see the word Die Hard being
good point.
Being a time to die hard or something like that. It's a very Bondy title, as it is anyway.
Yeah, I do agree. It was produced by a couple of guys. One of them being a guy called Lawrence Gordon. Again, he produced Predator. Produced another film, Point Break.
Oh, forgot about Point Break. I used to really like Point Break.
I know it's Point Break. It's got a lot of love out there, and he also produced Die Hard too. Then, excuse me, the other guy that directed it was a guy called Joel Silver. Now, really, really famous Hollywood producer. Just his list of production is just ridiculous. It's just hit big film after big film after big film. He even produced the Matrix trilogy, but a couple of other kind of films he produced. The Warriors.
Oh, yes, the famous Warriors.
From the late 70s.
Again, never seen it, but I've got reputation by reputation.
Absolutely awesome film. Produced Commando.
Okay.
Another 80s, like, just big action film. And Lethal Weapon series.
So, mate, this is a team of making a film, so know how to make an action film. They know how to make... They specialise quite clearly in... action films.
Yeah, and the screenplay was written by Steven D'Souza, who also wrote Commando. He wrote Running Man as well. Another Arnie vehicle, great film. Love Running Man. Cinematography was a guy called Jan de Bont. Now, in Hollywood, really famous director. He's directed Speed and Twister.
Oh, really? Speed? Yeah. Speed. Yeah. Fucking Speed. Die
Hard
on a bus.
Yes, exactly. We'll get onto that later on.
But
I'm glad you said that, yeah? That's why I wrote it down. I was like, Jan de Bont, yeah. He directed Speed. And Twister's a good film.
I really like Twister. Ludicrous. Wind doesn't... I look at that film and I'm like, wind don't work like that. That's not wind. Magic. Magic Twister.
Twister's great film.
But I love it. Love every minute of it.
But he was a cinematographer on another like handful of really big famous films, and the score was by a guy called Michael Kamen. Now again, his list is exhaustive.
Hey, I've got stuff to say about about the score because
great.
What's the score? He just keeps you with it.
Score?
I'll come to that. I don't want to blow me load with
what
that
score.
Wow,
I'm 100%. I'm glad, mate. I'm glad you're on the same page as me as that, because at the end of the film I was like, what a great score.
Yeah.
All the way through, I'm like...
All the way through.
Perfect.
Oh, I can't. It would blow me load.
But he did the score for just an amazing list of films, but just a few. Highlander.
Oh, right.
Highlander, Lethal Weapon, which is great score. It's very jazzy.
Yeah.
Very jazzy. Also, License to Kill. James Bond again.
A Bond.
You know, we're building...
It's almost like he does that. It's almost like they assembled a group of people who know what they're doing for this specific thing.
No.
Like, never.
So, a few facts and figures about the film, guys. Like Mark's mentioned, it's based on a book by Roderick Thorpe called Nothing Lasts Forever. Apparently, his idea for the book was inspired by a film called Towering Inferno, which is a big 70s disaster film. Loads of famous people in it. But he said he thought of terrorists instead of the fire. And I thought, I quite like that. Apparently, Frank Sinatra was just one of the many actors that turned the part down, which is really weird, because Sly and Arnie was in that mix and they said, no thanks. So, at the time, Bruce Willis was a TV actor, and when he signed on to do this film, he was paid $5 million, and that was massive money at the time. It made him one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood. Like, what the fuck? And also, you know, another interesting thing is because the studio wasn't that confident in the film, he was barely in any advertising material, posters and stuff.
Fox were
shitting it.
Jumpy about this film. Yeah, he didn't appear on anything really, even on the front cover.
It's very dark, and it's just the Nakatomi Plaza and the left hand side, and it's literally not even half his face.
It's
like
not half its face. Actually, really good poster. That really iconic. Now, just a part of his face, half his face at most, and the tower. Really good, actually.
Yeah, it's a good one sheet.
That's another word. If I can get Speed Die Hard on a bus, that's very similar, just half his face.
Yeah,
in
the bus, like bang at the bottom. Yeah. Another really interesting fact: this was Alan Rickman's first film.
Do you know? I found that out 20 minutes just before we were getting in the car, watching stuff about it. Alan Rickman's first film. Never. What a debut,
guys! You can't see my face, but I'm just looking at Mark to go. His first film, and that's the performance he gave.
Alan Rickman came to play. Right, I'm going to be in a film.
Mate.
I'm going to show you.
Mate. I'm going to show you acting.
I'm going to show you. This is how people of America... This is acting.
This is how it's done.
Go, Alan! Go on,
His
Alan!
first film, mate.
I could not believe that. Flabbergasted.
Again, we'll touch upon it later, but
use of the word.
A fucking performance. A fucking performance.
Yeah.
One of the great villains.
Yeah.
100%. One of the iconic.
Hans Gruber, to quote you, Hans Gruber, come on,
Hans Gruber, come on. And do you know it was filmed at location at actual Fox, the studio that made it, their office building, and it was all literally still a construction site.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a nice little interesting fact. And also
in the film, it's still under construction. So some.
And again, when we touched upon, they were shitting themselves. Fox when they released this, they were like, "We don't know."
They really weren't sure.
And they just paid Bruce Willis, who was a TV actor at the time.
Nothing. This is his break. This is his break.
And they've given $5 million, one of the highest paid actors.
Yeah, I mean, nowadays, $5 million. Could you imagine?
I'm sure Schwarzenegger, I think what really changed the game was Schwarzenegger when he did Batman and Robin for Joel Schumacher. Mate, I think he got like $50 million like just for that role. It was something ridiculous. Even for that, even now that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And that was in the fucking late 90s.
Well, that all worked out well. There's nothing to be ever said about
Mr. Freeze, fuck off. Poison Ivy gets a fuck.
But yeah, I think now we've got onto it. We've got to talk about cast.
I mean,
you know.
So, for a kick-off, main character John McClane, played by Bruce Willis.
Great name, by the way. Might as well have he's America incarnate. They might as well have called him Uncle Sam. John McClane.
I love it.
John McClane.
And also a very well-known actor, but just
Bruce Willis.
Yeah, that's true, mate. So known for probably, apart from this,
I think for this he's known for Die Hard.
But Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense, exactly. Yeah.
And Pulp Fiction.
He
plays the boxer in Pulp Fiction in the boxer segment. Hans Gruber, he's the leader of the bad guys, played by Alan Rickman. Prince of Thieves, which is a Robin Hood thing. You're into Robin Hood.
I love Robin Hood. I have so many problems with Prince of Thieves, but I'm not going to do it. But I still really enjoyed the film, and it's the best part of that. The best part of that.
Do you know Harry Potter's?
Yeah. I think everyone knows he's in Harry Potter.
And he died.
Yeah, I can't believe. I was genuinely shocked. He's dead. He did a die.
An absolute powerhouse of an actor.
He's one of greats.
He's great. Everything he's in.
One of the greats.
Yeah.
if someone said, I watched this film, oh, Alan Rickman were in it, oh, worry,
yeah.
oh, worry,
Yeah.
and then they're like, I didn't like him in it, you're lying. I don't know what
100%.
film you're talking about. But
What?
Yeah, he's not the reason you didn't like the film.
Great actor, great actor. And I thought I'd highlight just one of the main baddies, Carl, played by Alex Goodman, and he was in another film called Witness. I think that was like a Harrison Ford vehicle. Holly, his wife, John McClane's wife, is played by Bonnie Bedelia, and again, she's not been in much. Needful Things, which is like an adaptation of a Stephen King thing, and Die Hard 2, obviously.
Yeah, I can't ever. I remember watching it. She's a very familiar actress.
Yeah.
I reckon she's in a lot. But it just exists in the back recesses of your brain where you're like, where do I know her
no
from?
her face.
Yeah, know her face. But I've things to say about her as well.
Okay.
I really like.
Okay.
I'll come on to it. I'm sure, but I like that character.
So moving out from the core cast of characters, there we've got a gentleman called Al Powell, which in the film he comes into it halfway through, and he basically builds a relationship with John McClane through the CB radio, and because he's
I love it. Yeah, and that actor. I forget the name of the thing. But
Regvel Johnson, he's called.
He plays coppers. That guy, I'm sure he plays copper.
And
he's in Ghostbusters, and he's copper in Ghostbusters. Is he not?
No, he's not. No.
Okay.
Another good character, and again, I've got some things to say about Argyle, the limo driver, played by Devon A. White. He was in Blues Brothers. Not much else. A little cameo in Blues Brothers, but I like that character in the film. Yeah, well, I'll get onto that. Then we've got the TV news creepy dude, Twatty, who comes into it again halfway through the film, called Richard Thornburg, and he's played by a character actor called Will Knight, who was in Ghostbusters as Walter Peck.
Yeah.
Walter Peck,
the man who has no dick.
He's got no dickless. That's exactly who it is. Another character in it, Harry Ellis, who is the sleazy yuppie, and I've got things to say.
Yeah.
Don't. So that character's called Harry Ellis, played by an actor called Hart Bochner, and he was in the Carrie remake. He's been in loads of shit basically as little parts. So that's pretty much much the main cast. You know, you've got a lot of the henchmen and stuff, but that is.
But henchmen are henchmen.
Henchmen, yeah. Apart from Carl, who is the main henchman, and he has a massive scrap with him, like 3/4 way through the film, like an epic fight.
Yeah, so it's pre your final boss.
Exactly,
fight,
that's it. Yeah. So yeah, that's the cast, mate. So if we was to sum up Die Hard in a very, very small sentence and said, tell me what Die Hard's about, I would say to them, Die Hard follows a New York City cop who's called John McClane, who gets caught up with it when terrorists take over an LA skyscraper while visiting his estranged wife.
Yes.
That's it. Yeah. That's the film in a nutshell. And you're like, now I'm intrigued.
And he's trapped in this building with them, and he's the only one who can stop them. I've lost my words of how to describe it, but like
fish out of water.
And it's him totally just at their mercy, and they've this plan, and it could have been executed perfectly for them to take over a building to do what they want to do, and he's the only fly in the ointment. He's the thing that causes it to go wrong.
And do you know what this film plants into the film series as a whole? Wrong place. He's the wrong place at the wrong time. Yeah. And he even says that. He actually say it.
Step up to it. Yeah. And
he does every time. Because he's Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
And it's John McClane. So let's move on to what we really enjoyed, what we could be better, or any kind of criticisms. Let's discuss that, Mark. So what have you got this week?
Well, one of my main things is the rapport between the really good character acting and really good chemistry between a lot of different characters. Great script as well. And I think that's the reason why there's such a good rapport. Like, I thought the way that he quickly imparts to us that he is estranged from his wife, I really kind of like that.
Straight away, it's planting them seeds, and I think it isn't until they meet and you have that conversation.
It's just like little stuff. Yeah, little stuff like when he goes into the building to see her for the first time. He's finding her on the computer, and he's looking for McLean, and she ain't under McLean. Because that's the thing. She's quite obviously. Relatively recently, 6 months ago, got this promotion and had to move to a different... Because they're obviously from New York. Cause
she moved to LA and he stayed in LA, and 6 months later when it's Christmas Eve and...
Yeah, just... I think that's one thing that I really liked about it, that really early on, it gives you, it shows us this characters, doesn't tell us. It doesn't just go, here's a New York cop and
No. I actually highlighted that as I really like John's and Holly's relationship. They build it like you can tell it's been rocky for 6 months since she fucked off.
As well, when they have their argument, because he gets up, he finally finds her at the party, and they go and they have a word. And you can tell what I really loved. You could tell there's love there. They love it. They love each
looking
other.
At him as well.
And she get where she's like, "Where are you staying tonight?" And he's like, "Oh, I might stop somewhere else." And she's like, "No, stop at mine.
I've made a bed up for you." He's like,
and then they finally. They start arguing, so it's like they've hurt each other. They love each other, but they have hurt each other.
Good.
And I'm like, really good chemistry between them two.
I did really make that one of the highlights of the film.
Really good. And another highlight of the film is...
It's not contrived, it's done right. They handle it really well.
It's written well. Written well. It builds all the time. It builds like even you found out in the limo when he's with his driver. Argyle. I really like Argyle. He's a great little...
First thing I wrote down was like, Argyle - limo driver. Love him.
What a great little guy.
He's like almost in a film.
He builds a good rapport with him.
And he's almost like the break. He's like the not comedic break, but that 10-second away from relentlessness of the building.
Give him a quick breathe. Fucking hell! What have I just seen? Quick
and
breathe.
he just seemed like smiling sock on the phone at the time. He's like, "Come on, baby, you know it's Christmas. Come on."
But even. Again, because good writing, good rapport between John and him, because he's like, "Oh, what's your story?" or whatever, and he's like, he's trying to not tell him anything, but he's like, "Oh, you're divorced," or whatever, and he's like, "You're very astute."
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, you're smart, you."
You know,
you can tell he's a young lad as well, innit? Like,
exactly. And he said he used to be a cab driver, and he just like every fucking cabbie. Oh, you're a chatty one, right? Okay.
But I love that character, and also. Not just Argyle, but I think you're talking about like not only the relationships between the characters are really good, but I think each of the main characters, obviously in the cast that I've said, has their moment to shine as a character.
Absolutely.
It definitely gives the script has allowed for that, even in the scope of the story. It still focuses on we've got to give each character a little bit of moment because then you remember them then.
Yeah, exactly. There's something about all of them. Like I understand that character. Like what's the name of the copper, black copper who's talking on the CB radio?
Oh, Al.
Yeah, Al. I really like their relationship over the thing, and it builds over. And it's really funny. I always laugh my ass off when he's under fire and he's having to reverse.
He's like, "Oh, there's nothing here." Bang, 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 bang.
Jesus H Christ!
Bang, reverse all the way.
Reverse all the way until he goes off the edge of fucking road. And so that's one of his good moments, and he has really good.
The rapport,
and they build a friendship. They're friends by the end of it. Him and John McClane, they're friends by the end of it. They're not acquaintances, they're mates.
Yeah, friends.
Without ever seeing each other's face. And it went, really good.
That's the first person he goes to when at the end when
exactly,
he
sees him and they see each other and it's almost...
Yeah.
He's loving almost.
They're that's.
We've been through it. You helped me get through stuff.
They've been through it together then.
Yeah. And even though he's been through most, you know what I mean? Like, we even had a good moment with Al. I made a mistake. I shot someone. I shot a kid, and I've never been able to shoot my gun since.
Hence why he kills Carl
and then at the end, he's the one that shoots Carl. That's his moment. Good. Really good. Yeah. Really good.
Yeah, it is good.
And I think it's one of the big things. The characters, Gruber, Hans Gruber.
I was about to get onto Alan Rickman, mate.
Wow.
Let's just sit back and appreciate that performance. That's all.
Mate, it's...
The scenery. It might have been. You might as well make it out of marshmallow because the guy's going to eat the fucking lot.
He will eat the lot.
Every scene.
All of it. Give me it here, Mr. Cowboy.
Yeah. What a performance!
And the accent. Strangest German. You were like, don't give a shit. Don't give a shit. Do not give a shit.
Yeah. I'll allow it. It doesn't matter.
I'll allow it. Great. What was it? I put on my notes, and you can see Alan fucking Rickman. Underlined.
Exclamation.
Charismatic. So charismatic all the way through. I can see why people followed him. You know what I mean? He's a leader. He's a bad guy, but he's a leader of men.
Do you know what it is as well?
Charismatic and as real menace.
We'll carry on with that. Just want to say, I think the bad guys, I like that. The bad guy team, you've got the hacker, the muscle, and the mastermind leader.
Mate, they assembled the team and they struck on that place. And that's the thing.
And he's their leader, Alan Rickman, though.
Oh, he's just so wonderfully done. Genuinely... He's terrifying in a way. He's calm. Yeah. He's collected.
The real powerful men don't need to shout.
And that's the thing. That's what he puts beautifully. Does Alan Rickman? They don't need to shout. Yeah. They've got what's that brilliant moment where he's explaining that they've just killed Taggy. The owner.
Holly's boss.
They've just killed him, and he's like, and unfortunately, Mr. Takagi will not be joining us for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? He's so confident in himself. He's making jokes. He's cracking jokes
because he's going. I'm going to count to 3, and he's like, you have to shoot me then. Okay, bang. Right, move on.
No, that's the thing.
No negotiation.
That's the moment, because we've up till that point we've been almost with him. He's so charismatic, and that's the point where he's like,
dangerous.
Oh, he's not just a threat. He's really genuinely dangerous. Yeah. I will count to 3. There will not be a 4. And that's all he says, and he means it because he does it. 1, 2, 3.
We as the audience know now.
Takagi goes, I don't know. You'll have to kill me. Okay. Bang. And that's the thing, but because Bruce Willis's character, John McClane, he can hear all that
he sees it.
He's like, whoa, these are fucking dangerous people.
Well, he's the panic then. If you notice, then he kind of portrays a guy in panic, like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do?
And do you know what? That's another thing that it's more praise for Bruce Willis. And for the writing of this character. He's not just the immediate macho man of I know what to do. I don't know why I did Arnie, but he's always my go-to of like, he just obviously knows what to do. He don't. John McClane, he don't know what to do. He genuinely shits himself, and you can see you can tell the franticness of what he's trying to do. Even when he's talking to himself, and he's being really comedic, like as well. And just little character tics that I just really like he likes a pretty girl. Doesn't he?
When he gets off the plane.
When he gets off the plane, hello, looking at you. And I think, it's just good writing, little character tics. He's really charismatic. He's funny as well when he rings up, when he radios the fucking police, and the police are like, "Sir, this is for emergencies.
If
you need help, call 911, and it's an emergency. This is an emergency. This is a fucking emergency." And when they go, what he says? "No shit, lady, I wasn't ordering a pizza." Like really good line. Shut up. And that's one of the themes, and I've got this as positive and negative. It's anti-authority. Is that there's a lot of that. It's low-key anti-authority figure.
Oh, okay.
I think that's one of the themes of the thing.
Anti-authority.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll come on to that.
Yeah, we'll come on to that. We'll come on to the things.
Just Bruce Willis, Alan Rickman, what a pair. Good chemistry between each other.
Mate, I put the Hans and John scenes, they're all great scenes.
They're all great scenes, and most of them, what I think is brilliant is you get to sense their relationship before they're ever in a scene together.
It builds it.
Over the radio.
It builds it. I think as well, Alan Rickman's performance in this film, then, if you go back, they say this was from 88, it was come out in 88. I think now we're in a time where, what do all American studios do when you think of a bad guy? Who did they cast? A British actor. And this is where it started.
Do you reckon this is where it... Surely it's bit somewhat before.
I'm telling you, mate.
Okay.
Trust me. And because of Alan Rickman, his masterclass performance as a real deal bad guy. From then on, mate.
From then to this day. Yeah. I mean, it's fine. We love playing villains. 100%. Don't ever change America.
No, don't.
Yeah, I'm sure I speak for the entire acting community of Britain. Carry on throwing that to British actors, fine, because I bet you every character actor in Britain loves to play a villain because they're the best character.
But again, true. Bruce Willis's performance now, mate. Considering it was a debut, and he was literally not even on the list of choice of actors.
He would have been nowhere. He wouldn't have got... Back then, people would have either been like, oh, I know him from whatever TV show, I don't know. Or people would be like, I don't know him. Who's that?
Literally, he was about 10 to 15 well-known actors ahead of him in the list. Again, he was off the back of a TV. He was a TV actor, mate.
Yeah. So did others turn it down or anything like that?
Loads.
Do we know that? Yeah.
I didn't. Do you know what, mate? I did read a list.
This is one of the things that, like, I thought the writing was spectacular. So I 100%. Can't understand why someone would look at that script and go, oh, dog shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you know why I think they might be turning? Because it's a very... It's not a balls to the wall, big muscle dude going after the bad guys. Like, he's never going to get hurt.
I think that's to its benefit.
I do. I think it shows because Bruce Willis' character, I think he brings an everyman quality to it.
He looks like your dad.
Yeah, he's a normal looking dude.
He's not dad.
He's not hench. He's not that hench in it.
He's not that hench. He's a... Well, it's not hench at all. He's just a well-built dude.
He's just a normal guy, mate.
With an hard job, he's a copper. Like, you can tell, like, a proper street copper.
Yeah. Some sort of fitness to him. But again, he brings, for me, an everyman quality to the character, a vulnerability to the character.
Yeah.
I think, as well, him and Al have a really nice scene as a radio when he's just blown up, when he sets the C4 off, and it just literally rips that floor apart in the skyscraper. And he's saying to him, I want you to tell Holly I'm sorry. She's never heard me say sorry. If I don't make out of her, and that's at that time.
Yeah.
The fucking main hero guy, he would never apologise for anything. He'd never show that vulnerable side. I think that's why a lot of them turn it down to go, I can't be macho and vulnerable. And
I don't think a lot of actors as well are able to. But I don't think, like, could you imagine if it was Stallone having that? I don't think he could carry it. He couldn't pull it off. Everyone would be like, shut up.
Because I think it wasn't a macho man action figure like Arnett or Stallone. I think it was to the benefit of the film that he come from a place where I have to show range and emotion on a TV show.
Do you know what? Also, I think he really does. He slowly gets worn down by it. He gets properly injured as well. Like his feet are absolutely fucked.
No shoes.
He doesn't have any shoes on. Everything's taken him so by surprise. He has no preparation at all. He ain't got his shoes on. And it's so brilliantly done. And you can tell that.
It builds.
He rises to the challenge, but he wasn't prepared for the challenge, nor did he know what to do.
Yeah.
Like the first grunt he kills, he does it by accident. He doesn't mean to kill him.
Yeah.
Like he genuinely, the fall down the stairs and quite clearly breaks his neck, but he didn't mean to.
Yeah.
You know. So it just shows you he's out of his depth, but he's rising to the challenge.
Yeah.
And Bruce Willis, he just carries it so well. He has those down moments where he's picking him and Al talking over at radio, and you know, is picking the shards of glass out of
how's
his
it going,
feet
cowboy?
as well.
And it's like, oh, we've got a bet on your ear, and just put me down 4-1. I'm good for it.
I'm good for it. Like, he's constantly just talking himself through it, and I think, mate, it's a stellar performance from
made him a
Bruce
star.
Willis.
It made him a fucking star.
And I understand why, and I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Maybe not so much now. He's not done a great film for a long time.
No, but I'd get.
But
that's
he did Die Hard. He did Die Hard.
Yeah,
you can do whatever you want.
Die Hard. He did Die Hard.
He was in
and
that.
He's been.
You can do whatever you want.
He's been in various other action films, hasn't he? And and
in other Die Hard films.
In other Die Hard films, yeah.
But we'll talk about that later. So what other positive and negative things have you wrote down here?
Well, as well, just some other characters, and I've got him down as a positive and negative. I forget the name of the actor.
Ellis.
Yeah, who plays Ellis, the douche. Douche
I've wrote down sleazy yuppie stereotype, and he's a shitbag.
He is a shitbag. I don't think it harms the film at all, because I've put down both strength and a weakness, because he's supposed to be a weedy fucking...
You want to hate the cunt.
What a prat. Yeah. Although I do love it where, right at the beginning, where he's having a line, he's having a snifter. It's just like on her desk.
And he goes, oh, I'm just like
Bruce Willis, John McClane's like, you missed a bit, and touches it, knows it. It's like shit, like douchebag.
I tell you what, right? I know he's a knobhead character, but he has another good line in it, right? So later on in the film, when he's like, hang on a minute, we're all gonna get killed here, and I know the Holly who I work with that's his fucking wife, so I'm going to try and use that to my advantage to try and get out of here without being killed. So he goes in to see...
That backfires.
Mate, he goes in to see fucking Hans, and he's like, Hans, Bobby.
Hans.
And I'm like, oh, you hate his yuppie cunt!
He is.
Hans, Bobby.
Mate, he might as well be. The 80s packaged up.
Yeah.
And bang, there's the 80s.
Yeah, that's it.
What a prick. What a massive, massive prick. But I've put that it's really useful for the plot, because that scene where he goes in and he tries to convince him over the I'm acting. We've known each other for years, and Bruce Willis, John McClane's like, mate, tell them you don't know me now. Oh my God, what have you done? What have you told them? And you're like, oh, thank God that he didn't tell him that his wife. Yeah. He didn't tell him that. And he was like, mate, they're going to kill you. And he's like, they're not going to kill me. But there's a moment right there where I think he realises they're going to kill me.
Well, when he's like, John. And he's torn, and you can see it, and then he just fucking bangs and shoots him straight away.
And mate, that...
brutal again.
His character was supposed to hate him, so I put him as a negative because I hate his character.
Oh, he's a dick.
Hate it, but I'm supposed to, so I can't keep it as just a negative. The filmmakers are look at this prick. You're supposed to not like him, and then it's another way of building Hans's threat.
But do you know what that character does, mate? Do you know what the character does? Then it puts that threat on Bruce Willis to go. It's my responsibility to not let anyone else die.
No, I know, because that's another thing.
And that goes bang. Well, you didn't stop him, did you? He's dead.
Yeah.
Adds more pressure to him.
He takes some responsibility, because this is another reason why the authority thing is a bit of a theme. Because you go outside and the head detective who's in charge of all this, Pratt. What a fucking
mate,
Pratt.
I put him down. The police chief is a knobhead.
And it's at that moment... where I realised that he's a fucking knobhead when he's like, he basically got him killed there. Yeah. And it sounds like, what are you talking about, you prat?
What the fuck was he supposed to do?
This is the reason that the authority thing is it's a theme of the thing, because everyone in an authority figure in this thing is immediately portrayed as a prat, because they are prats.
Do you know who's the worst? Do you know who's the worst? Them fucking FBI agents in the helicopter.
Johnson and Johnson. Stupid.
Do you know what I like about...
as well, they're supposed to be almost cartoonishly stupid. Cartoonishly.
Do you know, I don't know if you noticed this, right, but I think their characters, you're supposed to hate them from the kickoff.
You are!
And do you know why I know that? It's because they hate each other because he says to him when they're in the helicopter going to like the roof to pick up, right, now we're going to save the day. He goes, just like Saigon, and he goes, I was in fucking junior high, dickhead. Yeah. I'm like, they don't even like each other, so are we supposed to like
No,
him?
I know.
But they've written like, oh, now I know, we're not supposed to like him.
Even when he rings the police and there's some stupid call girl bins.
Two of them!
Again, it's the authority, bureaucratic nonsense. Just sheer just bad decision, pettifogging bollocks, and that's a theme of the fucking 80s. Is that
that's
right?
That's a good shout,
it's almost it's another thing where this film is the 80s packaged up and sent to us now. It's like a time gift.
A gift from the 80s.
A gift from the 80s. Is it good? Yeah. Is it good? Well, yeah, it's fucking crazy time. But yeah, I really liked it. I really liked that aspect of it as well.
I did. But also as well, what about, we can go on about all the great lines.
Yeah.
The set pieces are fucking great. Every set piece is great. Again with Bruce Willis in the fucking shaft.
Oh, it's so good, mate.
Great
so
scene.
Good. So
the C4 down the fucking...
I'm tense the whole time. Yeah. And that's another thing where I think the music has to be brought up. Because
great score.
It's just constantly.
Yeah. The right sound at the right time.
Yeah, one that builds and has a hiding quality to it. And then sometimes fast-paced action, and it just goes with it. And it's even a little bit absurd when Gruber has the vault open. It plays joyful. Do. Like it's literally, it's so joyful.
It's like opening a Christmas present.
Yeah. Well, yes, I guess in a way, but yeah, it's. It pushes the plot. It underpins the plot.
It does. It's another piece of the puzzle in the Die Hard.
And it's almost like I didn't notice it in a good... I did notice it. I noticed that I noticed it, but it's like... It doesn't overwhelm the screen. Not the screen.
I
wasn't overwhelmed by it. And... sometimes you can have such a dramatic sequence and it's very... And you're like, tone it down. Tone it down. But this, none of it.
No.
None of it.
Great score. Yeah. Michael Caine, great.
And that's it. That's the thing. The writing snappy, the scores there. So many great lines, like you say.
Again, mate, if we're going on to, iconic things from the film, yippee-ki-yay motherfucker.
Yippee-ki-yay motherfucker.
I mean, that's like...
He's still there, people will say it, you know what I mean? Yippee-ki-yay motherfucker.
What a line, made up as well on the spot. Ad-libbed.
I know, yeah.
Ad-libbed, yippee-ki-yay motherfucker.
Just fucking Gruber when he reads the t-shirt of the now I've got a machine gun.
I love that.
Merry Christmas. Ho, ho,
ho, ho, ho. That's how he says it, doesn't say ho. Ho.
And when he's in the vent with his lighter and he's like, oh, man, gonna coast, have a good time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's talking to, and it's just really good. Again, on top when he's radioing the police, no shit, lady, I want ordering a pizza.
Yeah, like a guy like, I'm just trying my best with what
Come on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just really good lines all the way through. Writing in it.
Yeah, again, mate, and again, I've put on my my positives in the film. Again, I really like that Al Powell, the copper figure, is made.
It's so good.
Again, when he comes into it, they literally they're both helping each other through this situation, and like you're saying, that builds and builds and builds that friendship, that closeness, even though they've never met. He's encouraging him. He's saying it'll be all right, cowboy. He says, "What calls you?" And what does he call him now? What does Al call him? Roy. Well, after Roy Rogers, which Roy is like a famous American cowboy
and thing. That's another thing. Like he's met. John McClane is almost meant to represent it, like America.
Yeah.
At that particular moment.
Well, I think a theme, and just highlighting one of the themes that I picked up on. I think one of the themes for me is, it's American anxieties over foreign influences.
Yeah, because I mean, all the villains are generically European. I mean, some say there's a bunch of Germans, and so one or two of them are cartoonishly German. Ah, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But like Gruber's accent, I suppose he's supposed to be German, isn't he?
He's supposed to be.
Yeah, they're kind of.
I mean, he's not
generic Central European people,
yeah.
And that's
they say that when they discover he's part of the group, doesn't he? Said they expelled him, and it's like, hey, it's a European terrorist network that was a part of.
It's a big thing at the time. People forget that Europe is in our day and age. Well, they shouldn't forget because it still goes on now. But it's a relatively unstable continent. So it is very that it's Mr. American against generic European threat.
Yeah.
There's a shade of Eastern Europe about it as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There is.
We're at the fag end of the Cold War, but tensions really rose right at the end.
Yeah. Again, themes of masculinity within that as well.
I think that's a massive thing, and I'd say it's both a positive and a negative thing. But it's a negative thing only now. But that's only because this came out and it was so iconic that people nowadays look at it and just be like, "Oh, it's just him being."
But no, because I think
do you know what I mean? I think
vulnerability
that
is a
criticism is
from that character.
But I think that criticism is what I think of bad faith criticism. But it's not there. People are beginning to toxic masculinity.
Ego as well.
Those sort ego. Yeah.
Got hands.
Yeah. Well, it's ego and pride, and pride cometh before a fall, and he literally falls at the end.
Another thing that I noticed that when I rewatched the film for the show, I think the big thing that stuck in the back of my mind was it's almost like a tale of redemption through violence. Because, like you say, it makes that point right at the beginning of the film, like he's estranged from his missus for 6 months and things are really rocket. But it isn't until he kills all the bad guys and saves the day, and then he gets the girl at the end.
Yeah,
because she's like, "Oh, John," at the end, like, "Oh."
But that's the thing.
Just a few hours ago, you were like, "Oh,
but they have just been. They've been through something, and he hasn't.
But that is a theme, redemption through violence, because then obviously they like. Now this will make them closer.
It's almost like though, like she's being redeemed through it as well, because like yes, he has to save her, but it's almost like she's learned to love him again.
I agree.
Because
I agree.
He's willing to do so much for her. Really, he's doing it for her. He'll save everyone else. He's a policeman and he wants people to be safe. Yeah. But it's for her. It's for his missus.
True.
And they learn to love each other again through adversity.
I think as well, mate. I really love the scope of the film as a whole. I think, there's a lot of big shots, big wide shots.
Do you know what I'm going to say?
Big.
Do you know what I'm going to say? One thing that I really like of the shots,
it looks great as well.
It looks great, and you can tell this is before the time of
CG.
Yes, it's pretty much before that, and it's also before an action scene nowadays where you can't really follow what's going on because cameras all over fucking place, and it's so disorientating now. Wide shots, this I know loads of wide shots,
and it lets you see scope, like 235 scope as well. So on your TV, you'd see big black bars at the top and bottom, and that's full scope.
It's
I love that super wide screen.
I think that because you can see what's going off, it is much better than the thing that came probably like in the 90s, and still where even there's a fight scene you can see everything, whereas nowadays you can't follow because the camera is fucking everywhere. And cut.
Oh, don't the editing.
Cut.
Oh, don't.
Everything
breathes in this, man.
Where is
Every
this?
scene breathes.
Yeah. I'm not disorientated. And how
Not
many
at all.
action films that came after this can you really say you're not...
Cut, bang, bang, bang.
Bang,
It's the
bang,
MTV
bang, bang,
generation
cut.
then after that.
Exactly. And I think that this is one of the great action films because it's shot like a professional film, not like a, oh, ain't it good?
Yeah.
Ain't it good?
Bang, bang,
Fighting, bang, 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 cut. No, bollocks. They're telling a story
It's as
with
far away-
violence.
yeah,
They're telling a story with violence.
Yeah.
And
Mate, and it's a fucking for the time.
violent.
Super violent.
I mean, it's Die Hard, but
Yeah.
But
It is a violent film.
Very violent.
For a long time, it was actually cut over here for a long time. Cut. BBFC, fuck off.
You know what I mean? This is
Mary Whitehouse Brigade.
Yeah, clutching her pearls, like, oh no, we can't see the children.
If you don't know who Mary Whitehouse is, guys out there,
she's a twat.
She's an absolute twat. Google Mary Whitehouse. She's a twat.
It's just silly old bent clutching her pearls. But this from a time where the censor authorities censored Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh,
so
you mean it was called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Yeah, get Hero Turtles because
I always thought it was Teenage Mutant Heroes Turtles.
Yeah,
because I live in England.
Yeah, exactly.
Ninja Turtles, crazy.
Does it surprise anyone that they would be like, oh gosh, look at the violence, what would the children do? There will be a massacre at schools, massacres.
Yeah, but you want to Google that silly old bitch and find out why people like me and Mark think she's an absolute wanker.
Worst person ever alive, and the prime... well, she's not alive, but the Prime Minister at the day was just like, oh, Mary, you are so right, oh, God.
Fuck off.
God. Anyway,
let's move on from Mary Whitehouse, please, because she was a cunt.
But it doesn't surprise anybody.
No. But yeah, violent even for its day. You see that, mate? That when he's shooting, he's like shooting the glass, and they realise he's not got any shoes on.
Yeah.
After they fucking have the end, like how their first meeting ends when he's like, "I'm fucking dickhead. I'll give you the gun with no bullets in." And then fucking Carl comes out shooting at him, and he shoots that guy. Mate, he sees kneecaps blow apart, and then he twats into the glass pane on his face.
Yeah, I know. Like,
and it's literally there's a camera's right on his knees, and his knees just go pop,
bang,
bang. His knees just literally explode.
Yeah.
And I thought, even today, and I thought, all right, 1988 head. That was a violent film.
Yeah.
The killing of people, like bang. It's low. It's quite bloody.
Well, even the stuff that they don't show when they shoot Takagi right at the beginning, the splatter of his fucking brains against the window.
He got shot right in the head.
Yeah, straight through the straight through the
He's
bang.
He's gone.
You know what I mean? Bit gory as well for its time for an action film. I won't say gory actually.
It's not gory, but it's just
bloody violent.
It's just violent again. For me, the plot, the pacing, the cinematographer are all of a fucking high standard in this film, mate.
Really high standard.
I mean, tippy top.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, the guys involved, as we said at the beginning of the show, like, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, right, so is there anything in particular that you didn't like?
Can I be honest? Can I be honest? I think...
Well, no, lie.
Well, I've only got, if I'm honest, really one criticism of the film.
Go on, then.
I think I could edit 20 minutes out of that film.
Oh, another one of those.
Yeah.
Oh,
it is 20 minutes too long for me.
Do you know what I don't like? And I think you could cut it out the film. That reporter's character and the whole thing that he does.
Mate, that reporter,
useless character.
Do you know what I noticed? You know, like near the end when he knocks on the house, Holly's house, and goes, "I want to see the kids," or I'm. And then
I'll call the IRS.
never follows that up. Did you notice that?
No, I know.
The next scene is him outside Nakatomi Plaza. Like,
no, I know.
How weird is that? What a weird scene.
Yeah.
Weird.
He's
I want to review the kids.
He's the reason that they find out, isn't he? That it's his missus in it. Like, you know.
Yeah,
like,
he's a fucking wanker as well.
But you could have quite easily cut that scene out, cut his character out, because he does nothing in the plot.
Yeah, nothing.
Except do that. When you could quite easily find any other contrived reason in the building, someone could have searched for her in company records. Gennaro.
Yeah.
Also, aka McLean, because it's quite clear that she's only just told HR that her legal name is Holly McLean.
Yeah.
So anyone could have found they didn't need that subplot and that
again 20 minutes.
cut him out.
But apart from that, mate, I was struggling to pick
the things that I wrote down
as
negatives. The things that I wrote down as negatives, I wrote down also as positives. So, like, characters who I don't like, but you're not supposed to like them.
Like him, Ellis, the douche.
Like Ellis, Pratt, the police chief, deputy chief of police, wanker. But you're supposed to. But you're supposed to not like him.
Exactly.
Can you really put it as a negative when the filmmaker's literally gone? He's a prick. They might as well have just written in the sky. He's a prick, that guy. Like,
do you know?
Rick.
I think there's an absolute prick. Just one more good point I would like to say, mate, is I love that slow-mo fall of hands at the end. That's been emulated so many times. That slow-mo fall from the building.
I really like that.
And the look on his face when the watch slips off her wrist and he's like, "Oh shit, I'm gone."
It's terror.
Yeah, terror.
It's genuine fear, shock.
I love that shot.
Anger as well. Yeah, it's so iconic as well. How many times has that been emulated?
100%. That's what I've put. Slow-mo fall by hands. It's an iconic scene out of the film.
But that's it. Right, I've seen people review this film and put that as sort of like a laughable moment.
Not at all.
I didn't think so either. They're wrong.
Yeah, they are.
They're wrong.
You're just wrong.
But people, that's one thing that I wrote down as a great strength of the film. Whatever people say about it as a negative, usually you think to yourself, you barely watched it because that's literally addressed in the show, in the film. Or it's bad faith criticism, it's nitpicking, or it's looking at it from the eyes of our social standards in 2021 when that's 1988 for one thing.
Yeah. So you're not going into it.
You know what I mean? I don't say don't look at it critically because it deserves to be looking at it critically. That's what we're doing. But literally, if you're just like, oh, he's toxically masculine, and you're looking at he isn't.
Yeah.
He isn't in the fucking. Yeah, you are wrong in the text because he's not toxic. He has a few bad qualities, but. Done.
Exactly.
Right?
No one's perfect.
Second of all, you're looking at it through the political context of 2021. Fuck off. That is bad faith criticism, and that's one thing that I put great strength of the film. You're nitpicking. Where people go, oh, I think Hans Gruber pulls a stupid face when he's falling. Well, yeah, he kind of does nitpick.
Do you want me to drop you off a fucking window, mate?
Yeah,
see what your face you pull?
Mate, quite frankly...
piss and shit yourself at the same time.
Yeah. Exactly.
So what? I'm going to...
Mate, I'd be...
That's going on the gram.
Yeah, this face of sheer terror that I would be, as I felt...
But I like that. I like it.
I like it. They're wrong. They're wrong. Stupid wrong people.
Well, we know they don't.
So, and another thing that I've put, it's extremely, aggressively, unapologetically 1980s. But is that a criticism, really?
No.
Really? I mean, that's another thing where people are like, it's laughably 80s. Well, it was made in 1988. Yeah. And I'm laughing and when I'm laughing, I'm supposed to be laughing because it's written well. Do you know, stupid attention-seeking bastards.
100%. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
And that's one of my things. I've struggled to find real negatives. Not just. Oh, that's a bit of an odd choice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, not really.
Yeah. No, I mean, if you. Yeah. Listen, you've got to come at it from a certain angle and be open to it. Otherwise, you're just going to go...
Yeah. No, I know exactly.
And I totally agree with everything you're saying, mate.
Yeah. So... Go ahead.
Right, yeah, I think we should kind of move on to the film's legacy now, kind of what impacts it's had culturally, and kind of give our reviews. So should we move on to that part of the show, right?
Yes, I think we should.
Let's. Right, Mark, so let's kick off with... It's spawned, 4 sequels? Die Hard 2 came out in 1990, Died with a Vengeance in 95.
Good namings, by the way.
Really, 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 really good. Live Free or Die Hard in 2007, and A Good Day to Die Hard in 2013. The less we talk about the last two, the better.
Well, sure. It's a trilogy, isn't it?
100%.
There's a trilogy, and... They've made some fan fiction.
Yeah, 100%.
Made some fan fiction.
We'll just scrap the last two, mate.
It's like the hitherto should not be counted as part of the Indiana Jones thing. Did they make a fourth one?
What?
No, there's some fan fiction now that you can read.
Yeah,
the filmed fan fiction you can read.
Yeah, but mate, I think Die Hard, Die Hard 2, Die Harder.
Mate, what a name! What a name!
Die Harder, which basically is the same setup at an airport.
Yeah,
and that's some kind of military terrorist. Some
because that's another thing. It's afraid of flying. They even set that up.
Yeah.
In the thing,
I think number 2, mate, is very underrated.
Do you know? I was saying this to you today. I haven't watched it. I think in a good 10 years.
It's good.
So. But I think I'm definitely going to revisit it now that I've watched this. I'm 100% going to watch it.
And I really like, mate, Die with a Vengeance with Sam Jackson. That's a good dynamic in them characters.
That's a very Bond film name, isn't it?
Die with a Vengeance.
With a Vengeance.
But again, that links back to Hans Gruber. The main villain, that is Hans Gruber's brother.
Yeah.
Where they rob Fort Knox. Again, it's another heist thing, isn't it? Where they're trying to rob money. They want to get money or cash. But no, I think as a trilogy, I'm going to be quite bold in and say between Die Hard 2 and Die with a Vengeance, one of the best trilogies, let's forget the last two, but one of the best trilogies ever made. As a 3-film thing.
I'll agree with you, but I haven't watched the other two in a long time, so I can't wholeheartedly say you are right. But I can definitely see it, and I have seen all three.
It's one of my favourite trilogies, them three. I'm very, very familiar with all three of them. Yeah. And again, mate, for me, Die Hard 2, very underrated, and Vengeance is just a great film.
Is this a film?
Set in New York, you see, as well, with that one.
Yeah. It's one of those, and I'm sure we'll come on to it, but, like, would you revisit this film? Well...
Mate, come on.
Come on.
You know. I'd watch all three of them, like, tonight.
I'm gonna watch... The other two.
Yeah, you should.
2 and 3.
I'll sort it out.
Because
I'll sort it out.
Here's the thing. I'm willing to say, because we've watched usually the night or maybe 2 nights before every single one of the films that
we do, for the show.
Right. I think I had the most amount of fun watching this one. Out of all of them so far, where I was like, I've had fun. But anyway, that's a...
But again, it is spawning multiple sequels. It spawned multiple video games, comics. It was actually selected by Congress for the National Film Registry in 2017 as like a historical thing.
His vest,
yeah.
His vest is in the Smithsonian Museum.
Yeah, and then there you go.
It's the American version of the British Museum over here as something of real significance. Right.
I think what also it did, it's produced an absolutely fucking massive list of imitators with very similar plots, with these overwhelming odds with an individual, with in a restricted environment, and even like
that's
films at the time.
It's in a microcosm, in a restricted environment, survive this.
And there was a term after this film was released, it's like it's Die Hard on a or Die Hard in a.
Yeah,
it coined a term.
I really noticed it when having watched this, and when I've seen Speed quite a lot. And that is it.
Good
it's film.
Really
good film. I really enjoyed
Dennis
that.
Hopper is the bad guy.
Yeah, come on.
Come on. Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock made them both stars.
Made them both stars, and I really like both of them in it. But it's very that good, well written. But it's Die Hard on a bus at a very particular combined.
Well, just a few films, mate, that it had influence, and you can see the kind of similar themes. Cliffhanger with Sly Stallone.
I don't think I've seen Cliffhanger.
I'm not a big fan. I'm not a massive fan, but watch it. Under Siege with Steven Seagal, which is on a boat.
On a boat.
Same thing, on a boat. Terrorists on a boat. Speed and Air Force One with Harrison Ford. That's on a plane.
Yeah.
So they're all in a situation where it's Die Hard on a boat, it's Die Hard on a plane, it's Die Hard on a bus.
And mate, I'm here for it. As far as like legacy spin-off type things, I really like a lot of those sorts of films.
Yeah, none of them are any, and none of them.
None of them touch the heights that Die Hard. But
you can't. It's just a great film on the whole. It's just a great film. I think as well what it did is there was films like Cliffhanger and Speed where you've got main character that's not a meathead, that's not a muscle guy that never gets hurt. You know, it showed action stars could be vulnerable and relatable, like an everyman.
Yeah.
Type thing.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to be built like fucking Sly Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No.
You don't have to be calm and collected in every single situation.
Yeah. You can panic and worry and not be confident in the decisions that you make.
You know, and you just be flying back seat of his pants. That's what he's doing at that exact moment. Do you ever, when you're watching Predator, thinking Schwarzenegger don't know what he's doing? No, it's not the tension. It's not the tension of the film. The tension of the film is what is he going to do? Not how is he going to do it?
Exactly.
He's going to do it. He's going to do it.
Of course, he's going to do it.
You know what I mean?
Talking about that, I think again, you know, we've touched upon it. I think Hans Gruber is one of the best movie villains ever.
Yeah, he's got to be up there.
Just is. Like you say, he's got that calm, confident, menacing,
real menace, real
dangerous,
proper danger.
And again, he's chewing the fucking scenery like it's going out of fashion, and he's having fun with it.
What do you want from Alan Rickman? But that's the thing. This is the thing that got.
But that's his first one as well.
I can't believe that.
That's his debut
I was
film.
Genuinely, the correct use of the word flabbergasted is when you're like, what?
Yeah.
And I was flabbergasted.
Yeah. Again, I think as well, Die Hard, this one, let's just discount all its sequels for now. It's definitely in the top 10 of best action films ever made. Easy in the top 10.
I would go further. I'd say
top 5.
Top 5. I think it's one of the best.
It is. It's one of the best. Yeah, it's up there. It's you know, it's at the tippy topper.
Yeah,
it's aiming for the tippy topper. So yeah, that's that. You know, it does have. It's long lasting. You know, I think it's a film that people. It's in a favourite film list as well. I think,
and people watch it now. It holds up. There's no part of it where you're like, it looks a bit ropey now. From the safe heights of 2021, you could look at a lot of films and go, ooh, I love this film.
Dated straight away.
Dated.
Even films from a few years ago.
It is dated in the sense of it's very 80s, but it's beautifully shot. Brilliant.
It's a great looking movie.
So, I think if we were to give it some kind of rating.
Do you want me to go first this week?
Yeah, I think.
Right, okay, so I think for me, I'm just going to set out the park straight away. I'm going to give this 9 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
9 out of 10. I'm going to give it 9 out of 10 because I love the film, and I love, like I say, the Die Hard 2 and the Die Hard Vengeance. I really like the 3 films as a trilogy. It's a film series that I do revisit on a regular basis. Maybe once or twice a year I'd watch 1, 2 and 3 like over 3 nights or something like that. Mm. I think Bruce Willis is probably one of his best performances. Mm. I think Alan Rickman is one of the best villains, and those scenes, them together, and along with the other characters getting their moments to shine, even the fucking knobheads, the supporting cast good. Again, I like that the fact that it has its moments to breathe and shows Bruce Willis's character John McClane has a vulnerable side, and like you say, sometimes he's unsure and doesn't know what he's doing, and he's fumbling his way through, and he's just doing the best he can with the skills and knowledge that he's got. Again, it's had a massive impact. Look at the sequels, you know, it's like I say, video games and just in media in general. Everyone knows Bruce Willis, and I think people of a certain age will associate Bruce Willis, Die Hard, Bruce Willis. It's
a bit like I said right at the beginning. It's a Ping film. Bruce Willis. It is. Ping.
It is. And for me, mate, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10 because I actually enjoyed it so much when I watched it again last night. And the first thing I said to you today was like, mate, I fucking love watching that film. And because I was taking notes and analysing things, I was like, I realised it's one of them films that I liked it more. It gave me more of an appreciation because I'm like, other films I'd be able to, like you say, just pick the carcass a little bit and be analytical, whereas this I was like, it's that good, I can't even get past that first barrier to go, I can't even pick because there's so much meat on the bone. I can't pick at anything. I can't even get to it. And do you know what, mate? I didn't really want to.
No.
I just was along for the ride, and it's fucking amazing. And it's one of the, and I would even be so bold to say it's probably in the top 50 to 100 best films ever made.
Really?
Yeah.
Right. Well...
Now, sir, mon frere, what?
I'm going to... You've helped me along, because I was havering.
Okay, I know, you hinted.
I was havering between two numbers, and I'm going to meet you 9. I'm going to meet you 9.
You're going to see me?
Yeah, I see you 9 and I meet it.
Okay.
Because... Mate, what a film!
Mate.
What a time! What a time I had last night watching it. Now I've seen this film many times, but I don't think I've watched it for a long time. Probably one of the biggest gaps that I've had. Probably about 5 years since I watched it. Like a good long time I haven't watched it. And do you know, I were almost mad at myself that I'd not watched it more.
Yeah.
In recent years, because mate, I had just had such a good time. All the characters. So charismatic. The supporting cast, they do it brilliantly. They support the main plot, the main 2 characters, hero, villain, and what a stellar performance. Yeah. Only added to more when you find out it's Alan Rickman's first go. Exactly. It's Bruce Willis's first go. Exactly. And they're both just teamed together and gone bang, straight out of the park. Yeah. What a film. And get brilliantly written, snappy dialogue, heartfelt dialogue, daft moments as well, just to give you a little breather, just for seconds as well. The
little conversations, the little when he's in, like you're saying, come around,
comedic, making you angry as well.
Catchphrases, you pick out iconic scenes.
Mate, I was blown away by how much I really enjoyed it. Now, the reason that I was going to give it an 8 is because I felt like when I was watching it, I was like, I want to find something I don't like about it. So I've got something proper to say. And so I was thinking, I'll give it an 8 because that might be a controversial thing to say. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't deserve a 9. But I was like, it's nitpicky. Anything that I have to say about it, it's nitpicky bollocks. Like, it's exactly what I've been saying about other people. I don't like this character. You're not supposed to, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
I don't like the douchebag, or I don't like the police officer. Yeah, you're not supposed to.
Yeah, you're not the chief and the FBI guys, and then fucking like Ellis. That
what I mean? I don't like how 80s it is. You go, well, shut up because it's stupid. I just thought to myself, shall I give it an 8? But thinking about it, no, it's a 9. It's a 9.
All day.
It's a 9.
All
and to
day.
get another one where you think action film. One of the first things I think of is Die Hard. One of the other ones I immediately think of is Predator. We've done by the same guy.
Yeah. A few of them had an hand in it.
So... Right, mate, just really good.
Great.
What a film.
It is a classic. It's literally a classic. Yeah. It's a classic.
And it's one of those... look, if any of you exist out there who haven't seen Die Hard, just watch it.
Guys, if you've not... Again, we've had a couple of people who listen to the show said, some of the films you talk about I've not watched for ages. That's why we're talking about them. Get out there and watch it
again.
Go and watch
it. Go and watch Die Hard again, because you'll have a time. I had a time, a good time. A really good time.
Great film. So we're both going for a 9.
Yeah, it is a 9. It's a 9.
It's a 9 all day. And again, I think it's in the, probably, like you say, top 10, top 5 best action films. And for me, probably in the top 50, top 100 of best films ever made.
I would agree. Don't know whether that's proximity, that I watched it and had such a good time, but at the moment, I wholeheartedly
but then why would that opinion change going forward now? Why would
I don't know. Distance tends to change people's opinions, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But,
fair enough.
At the moment, 100% agree. 100%.
So... now we've discussed the film, we've discussed everything we like and what we don't like, and we've given our ratings about the film.
Well, a question lurks over it.
It does.
Hangs over it. It dangles over it like.
And what is that question mark?
Well, is it in fact a Christmas film?
And what is your opinion on that question?
I don't think I could, in all fairness, call it a Christmas film in the sense that I think we understand a Christmas film as. It's a film set at Christmas.
Well, you see, now, for me, I'd plant my flag on the side of it is a Christmas film.
Yeah.
And again, only because watching it again last night, Christmas, the theme is literally littered throughout the film.
But
it's set on Christmas fucking Eve, for Christ's sake.
The theme
the
of
music
Christmas,
is very reminiscent of Christmas.
The theme is not littered with Christmas. The film is littered with references to Christmas, but it's not the driving part of the plot. You could pick that film could be set on New Year's Eve. Nothing changes. Nothing of any significance other than aesthetics changes.
I tell you what. Why don't we leave that one here, and that can segue, guys, into our next show, which is going to be our Christmas special.
Exactly.
Where we will be discussing Die Hard in much further detail, amongst other Christmas films.
Yeah.
And a number of Christmas films, along with me and Mark have picked a Christmas film that we're both very fond of. It's not the greatest film ever made, but but we both have a really, really big soft spot for this film, guys. So thanks for listening.
Yeah, and so ta-ra for now.
Ta-ra for now. We'll see you down the road, and please join us on the next episode of The Vault of Cult, where we'll be discussing Christmas films for our Christmas special.
Ding, ding, ding.
Right, guys, so take care. Thanks very much. See you down the road.
Bye.